You can reference your plan today when you're drawing on the big paper. If you want to make some changes, that's fine, but your plan is here to help you, so this goes a little bit quicker. This paper is half the size of this paper, so you need to make your drawing bigger. Remember the simple shapes that you used, like ovals, triangles, rectangles, to break down what the shape is. You don't need to worry about which area and which way it's pointing, because we're going to cut these out and put them on another piece of paper. So it's less important. If you have trouble drawing lines really straight and evenly, do smaller lines. You don't have to do them super long all at once. You could do smaller lines like this. I always do that when I'm having trouble with a shape. One thing I need to think about is how big I'm making my details, because I am using oil pastels. And as I'm drawing this, I'm realizing those circles are way too small. So I might need to make part of this rocket ship even bigger. I think I'm making my rocket ship way too small. Make some bigger circles. Yeah, that might be better. And I am going to add some fire coming off the bottom. Make them point straight down, and then just kind of do wavy lines. I don't want to do too many of these pointy things because I gotta cut that out later. A lot of times fire will have several colors, so I always like adding a second shape inside that will be a different color. I remember that my wings and my flight stabilizers have an extra detail, and I also have one other flight stabilizer that's here in the middle. Right, now I need the details at the top. I'm looking on my plan and I made them very small, so that's another thing I need to change a bit so that my circles are big enough for me to color in. Do still want a window. When you draw circles, the easiest way to get a nice round circle is by spinning your paper. I always try to spin my paper when I want a nice circle. And make a little frame. Windows look a little more realistic on something like a rocket ship if there are two shapes making it up. So there's a frame for the glass inside. And we'll add those little lines right there. Since this is going to be a picture in space, I need to add some other things I will see in space. I will be cutting this rocket ship out, so I also need to add other things that I'm going to cut out with it. It could be planets, it could be the sun, asteroids, all sorts of stuff. If you do a planet with rings, everybody always asks me how. You want to start as if it's coming from behind the circle and curve it down a little bit. Then you're going to bring it in front, almost like I'm making a C shape. And then go in front of the planet and then back around to the back of the planet. I do want my rings to be more than just one, so I might actually make a second line right there and then erase that part of my planet. So it looks like my rings are super thick right here. It looks more of a shape. I could do a shooting star. Again, it really doesn't matter where you draw it because we're going to cut these out later. So have kind of a rock looking boulder and then coming out from it. 2 lines going back, kind of like what I did with my rocket ship. And then a comet or shooting star would have a tail. Maybe I'll have a couple more lines coming off. I want you to draw at least 3 things that you'll add to your background. Could be anything you might see in space. If you want to just do 2 different kinds of planets and a shooting star, an asteroid. And, somebody asked me if they could do like an alien of some kind. Remember not to do too much as far as details go because you gotta cut it out. Someone asked if they could do a little mini simple spaceship maybe in the background. That's fine. I'm going to make this different colors later, so I'm just going to make a nice big circle for now and then leave it. Going with my Sharpie now. This is a thin tip. You can see it's got a really small tip. Looks like a pen. Try not to use that. Try to use the thick ones that have a marker tip because it will show a bolder line with your picture. If you have trouble with drawing long lines, take breaks just by lifting your Sharpie up. Spin your paper however is most comfortable for you to move your hand. I always find it's a little easier sometimes to go up instead of drawing down. Some people think it's easier to go down. Notice on my last planet I messed up a little bit. Since I have so much space, I could just draw another circle, or I could just dress up my mess up and make this a part of the planet, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I made this a little too lopsided, so maybe I'll make it a planet that has swirls in it. Alright, so I just dressed up my mess up and my planet looks more interesting. It's that simple, you guys. Alright, next step is to erase. Get rid of any of these little pencil lines that I might see in my spaceship in between, anything I missed. It's okay to miss them, but you gotta get rid of them. I'm gonna go piece by piece.